On today's Charge Overland adventure, I take the Rivian R1T on its first overnight trip. We explore some trails near Big Bear, California, do a little off-roading, and eventually find a dispersed campsite with an amazing view. Also, I'm going to take some time in this video to walk you through how I've got all the gear organized inside my truck. Stay tuned. Once we got up into the Big Bear area, we branched off to the south side of the lake onto the 2N10 trail, and that's where we did most of our exploring and eventually found our campsite. All right, we've been doing a little exploring in the Big Bear area here around Mill Creek Road, checking out some trails, and we came across this amazing campsite. It's got a beautiful view. We just got everything set up and we're gonna sit down, relax, and enjoy the views and then start some dinner. All right, we just took a little hike around where our campsite is to catch sunset, and this view is pretty spectacular. So we made our way back to the truck, got some dinner going, and enjoyed using the camp speaker a little bit. Such a nice feature to have built into the truck. And throughout the evening, I was able to capture some pretty cool photos in this area we were in. Then it was time for bed. All right, we just finished up breakfast, had some coffee, and kind of just taking our time this morning. We're gonna get packed up in a few minutes here and then start to explore some of the off-road trails in the area. And then after that, we're gonna head home. So before we left camp, I wanted to walk you guys through how I've got all my gear organized inside the truck. Now, I've got a separate video that goes really in depth into all the gear I'm actually taking with me on trips. But what I want to do is just show you how I'm organizing that gear and some of the unique storage solutions that I found that work really well in the Rivian. So in the truck bed, I've got a Roam Adventure storage box. Now I'm using that for firewood or any miscellaneous gear. Then in front of that, I'm putting one of these Husky boxes. The first one that I've got in there is all of my essential emergency gear. And then in front of that, I stack the Husky box with all of the bedding, the pillows, blankets, all that stuff. On the right, I've got the Coleman stove kind of propped up at an angle there. It stays pretty secure. And then I've also been sliding the Jackery solar panels on top of those white Husky boxes. And then right next to those boxes, I've got the Yeti cooler. And the way this is set up, I can actually just slide it out and easily access it on the tailgate. So moving around to the gear tunnel on the driver's side, I've got the 2 camp tables and the camp chairs stored really nicely in here. There's a lot of space in the gear tunnel, so I've actually got some extra room back here. Back seats, I've just got my personal bag and then my camera bag with all my electronics and stuff in it. And then in the front, I've got the water bin here, the Jackery power bank, and then quite a few of those REI soft bags that I showed you earlier. These have all got miscellaneous stuff from kitchen gear to other essential supplies. And then below this, I've got that privacy tent that stores pretty nicely in the front here as well. And these bags fit really nicely in the front. So I've got the larger 25-liter bags in the middle here, these two, and then the smaller 15-liter bag off to the right here. So you can definitely stack 2 of these high in the middle as well as on the side. They work really well as a modular storage solution for the front. Then on the passenger side in the back, this bag has got miscellaneous snacks and food. There's not a lot left in there because we're almost done with this trip. And then we've got the plastic bin that also stores dry food in it. And then for the passenger side of the gear tunnel, I've got the bucket for going to the bathroom stored on this side here. So we took our time packing up, enjoying the scenery, and then we were on our way to explore a little more of the trail system in our area. So after a little exploring, we got back on the road and found a nice area off of Highway 18 to pull off and air the tires back up. We had a quick lunch and then started our journey back home. So I wanted to give you a little behind the scenes of this trip. This first screen shows the stats of the entire drive from my house up into the mountains, camping, and all the way back. And then this is the route I had planned out here. We started in the Irvine area and we made our way up through Corona, up near San Bernardino, and stopped just once to charge at this Electrify America station. So we grabbed lunch while the truck was charging, and we did charge up all the way to 100%. We ended up with more than enough range for this trip, which was really nice, but just wanted to see how the truck performed and was actually really impressed. So once we got all the way charged, we were on our way. So we made our way up the mountains here, up towards Big Bear. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, we stayed on the south side of Big Bear Lake. We turned off on Tulip Lane, this little road here, and then got on the 2N10 trail. This isn't really a challenging trail at all. It's basically a dirt road, but it links up to a lot of cool stuff in this area. And there are a ton of dispersed camping sites here, as well as a lot of trails to explore. All right, so those are the details from the trip up to Big Bear, California. Now, I also just recently took a trip up to Yosemite, California. This wasn't a camping trip. Unfortunately, campsites are very hard to get in Yosemite, but I do want to share the details of this trip with you guys. So I'll be uploading a video on that very soon. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching, everyone.